Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Hezicos Tarot. So, this is what the box looks like. I'm just going to take it out of the box. And the Hezicos Tarot was created by Mary Griffin, and it comes with a little book. And the nice thing about the book is that all the cards are in color, which is kind of a nice touch. There's not a lot of companion books, little companion books that have the cards in color. So in the companion book, you've got description of each card. You've got 3 different spreads here. So Celtic cross spread, the 3-card spread, and then there's something called the Romani spread, which is actually a spread that I wasn't familiar with. So that's kind of cool. And then there's also some information about the artist, Mary Griffin, and how she did her artwork, which is really cool, especially if you're really into artwork, and I'm really into art, so I really appreciate reading about how an artist actually went about creating her tarot deck. So this is what the backs of the cards look like. Now the cards are, they've got a nice matte finish, they aren't glossy. And the best part for me is that they have no borders, which is awesome. If you've watched any of my other reviews, you'll know that I sort of go on and on about how I can't stand decks with white borders. So I'm really happy that this deck has no borders. I think that's gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the deck and kind of let you sort of see the cards and get a feel for this deck as I talk about it. So the card stock is, a nice thickness. It's thick enough to be sturdy, but still not too thick to shuffle comfortably. As you can see, it's a really bright deck. It has a really special kind of happy vibe. And the artwork is very, I'm not sure if this is the right word, but very whimsical, very mystical. It actually kind of puts me in that inquisitive kind of frame of mind, sort of like a childlike frame of mind in a way, where I'm like really inquisitive, which is really helpful when, this is one of my favorite cards. I love this card, Judgment. It really helps when you're reading for yourself to be in that inquisitive, open-minded kind of state of mind. So I found that this deck really helped me get to that place mentally. And I feel that this deck would be good for beginners because it does, it closely follows the Rider-Waite format and imagery. So if you are a beginner, it could definitely be a first deck for you to learn on. And of course, if you're familiar with the Rider-Waite symbolism, you'll have no problems with this deck. Here's what I like about the court cards. The court cards, they're different in that they aren't as detailed as some of the other court cards in other decks. There's not as much symbolism and stuff going on in the background, which in some ways can make them kind of tough to interpret, but at the same time they're very powerful, and you get a real sense of personality with the court cards. Like, they really do feel like real people, which is pretty amazing. So like I said, it closely follows the Rider-Waite structure. However, there's still, enough nuances and uniqueness about this deck that that it's not gonna, it's definitely not just another Rider-Waite clone. It has a lot of really unique aspects to it. See, look at this guy. Isn't he just brimming over with a personality? It's very intense. And I would say what I find most special about this deck is actually the energy or the vibe I get from it when I work with it, which can't really be translated, you know, through pictures or a video. It's kind of something you have to experience firsthand. But when I looked at images of this deck online, I thought, oh, that's a really neat deck. It's really cool and everything. But it wasn't until I actually opened the box and started, you know, looking through the cards. I love this card, Death. It wasn't until I actually started looking through the cards and working with them that I really realized how special they were and how unique they were, and just the special energy of these cards. It's amazing, and yeah, it's just really lovely. And as I've been working with this deck, as I kind of mentioned earlier, the sort of, you know, whimsical, kind of happy, bright images do really put you in that sort of inquisitive, childlike kind of frame of mind. And so I found that the readings that I have done for myself have been very much, have felt very much like an exploration or an adventure. And I find it easy with these cards to really, oh, I like this one too. This one's my favorite. One of my favorites. I find it really easy to think outside the box when I'm reading with these cards and come up with interpretations and insights that I wouldn't normally have come up with. Another really cool thing about this deck that I've kind of picked up on, you know, as I've worked with it more and more, is that some of the cards that I've really struggled with for a long time suddenly made sense to me when I saw them in this deck. So I don't know if I've already gone past the Hierophant or not, but the Hierophant has always been a card that I've never really got it. Like, I've never really, oh, here it is. I've never really connected to the Hierophant, and I never really understood it. And for some reason, and I'm not really sure why, but when I saw it here as this kind of old man, I don't know, I suddenly got what this card was all about. And what I get from this card is that, you know, the Hierophant is about old ways of doing things, which in some ways can be good, and in other ways it can be almost kind of brittle and outdated. And I finally kind of got that about this card. You might be thinking, oh, that's obvious, I knew that, but but for some reason I never really understood that card until I saw it in this deck. Another card which I've already gone past was Justice, and that's another card in this deck that I really like, that I normally actually can't stand in most decks for some reason. I don't know what it is about Justice, but in this deck I really like her. Here's the Star, one of my faves. So if you want to get more information about this tarot deck, you can check out Mary Griffin's website, which is the hezicostarot.com. I'm going to post a link in the About section of this video. So if you're interested, you can just check out the About section and click on that link. So yeah, this deck has kind of become my new favorite deck, and I've just been reading with this deck the last week or so. I'm really enjoying working with these cards. I feel in some ways it's kind of like the perfect deck for me because it's got a matte finish, the cards are the right thickness, there's no white borders, it's happy, it's bright, it's magical, and yeah, I feel like this deck has a lot of really unique things going for it. So I'll show you the backs again, and it comes in a really nice sturdy box. So my name is Kate, I'm from dailytarotgirl.com, and that has been my review of the Hezicos Tarot. Thank you for watching.